So I've got so much different stories, man. I've got loads. Broke as hell on job seekers, and the big moment is The Apprentice. I was on The Apprentice, episode 8, series 8.
Stephen Sulley here, returning to the Stephen Sulley study at Woodbury House. I've got my next guest coming on shortly, a street artist, goes by the name of Nathan Bowen. I've discovered Nathan over the last probably 12-18 months. Simply working in Soho, you see a lot of street artists putting up some of their work, and the one that stands out for me probably the most, well, there's two. There was Tom Blackford, who I interviewed, really cool guy, I love his work, and then also this guy, a guy called Nathan Bowen. And from Charing Cross to Soho to Tottenham Court Road to even Bromley South train station, weirdly enough, I recently moved out my house to renovate it back to my parents' house, and when I was catching a black taxi, I went past a shop which was being done up. There was clearly a builder's working on it, and he had done up the front, and I thought, this guy really works hard to get his work out there. And I'm not too sure how successful he's been as far as like finances or being snapped up by a gallery is concerned, but I'm very interested to talk about not only just his work and what inspires his work, but actually what gives him the fuel to go out there and do his public art. I know artists find it very, very difficult to break through from just street artists into the common commercial scene, and that's where the money's made. But it can be done. People like Gainssay, people like Richard Hamilton, clearly, and also Damien Hirst and people like that. They've all had to start somewhere, and they've all had to break up the mold, so to speak, into the more commercial market. So what I like about interviewing these artists who are on the rise, they've clearly got talent, they've clearly got a vision for the future, they've clearly got a product, and I want to see what their mindset is like, and then maybe once they break through commercially, maybe do a second part of the interview, maybe in a couple of years' time, and see where he's at. I really like his work. What I've seen on his Instagram, I like his vision, I like his work ethic, and no doubt he's probably going to have some very, very interesting stories to support him as an artist and support his work. Stay tuned. Please leave a comment, leave a review, regardless whether you like the podcast interview or not. Every little helps, every bit of feedback I take in consideration, and always remember to be happy, never content. Hi guys, it's Stephen Sulley here. Welcome back to Stephen Sulley Study. Hope you've been getting value every single Wednesday from my podcast. I try to do my absolute very best to bring you value, bring you some good content, and more importantly, some very, very good guests. Next to me, a guy called Nathan Bowen, someone that I've been following, not just physically, because I've been seeing his stuff on the walls of London and the suburbs of London, but someone I've been following on social media. And I thought it was only right for me to hit him up and get him on the podcast to not only talk about his work, quite naturally, but my podcasts are all about mindset. They're all about, the reason why people do certain things. And I know being a athlete, being a salesperson, or being an artist, very, very difficult, professions to follow. And I always admire these people that are go-getters, and Nathan's definitely a go-getter. I've seen some incredible stuff. We've been having a quick conversation, and I know someone's got a vision for the future. So my next guest, Nathan, thank you very much for coming aboard, bro.
Thanks, Steve.
I really appreciate it, and I hope you like Woodbury House, and I hope you like our space.
Yeah, it's lovely.
We're always looking for new talent. We're looking for new people that have got a vision. We're looking for people that, are sync with our brand as well. So I wanted to have a brief chat about your background, where you come from, how you started, and your vision for the future, basically.
Yeah, nice.
So let's start from the beginning then. So I know you're from originally South London.
Yeah, South East, Catford.
Yeah. So I've seen your work in Charing Cross. I think that work was up there for a long amount of time. I think they lacquered it or protected it because they had. So to describe to the audience, there's it's almost like, and I hope I'm not misleading or disrespecting how I see it, but I'm just speaking honestly. It's like scribble almost, pop art almost.
Yeah, more like freedom art, looseness. So yeah, sketchy, scribbly lines. Because I gave up the idea of perfection. Didn't want perfection in my art.
I love that.
Made me stressful. I wanted art to be free and fun. So I came up with the loose lines. It was back in the day, it was 2007, I was in Faliraki, went on a boys' holiday, and it must have been the last couple of days, I was sitting by the pool, and I was just like, all right, I want to do some drawing. So I got a piece of paper, got a biro pen, and started this loose, sketchy style. So my previous styles before that was always like portraits, still life, very like traditional artwork.
Right.
Using oil paintings.
Yeah.
And I don't know, this one time I had this loose feeling of like, I've got this biro pen, I just want to start sketching and start scribbling. So I came up with my first character, and the response I got was good. People were like, yo man, that's good. People walking past in the pool thinking, man, that's really good stuff. And I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna take this sheet of paper back home to England, and I'm gonna pursue this style, this loose, sketchy style. And so at the time I was at St. Martin's University doing fine art.
Where's St. Martin's?
Well, it used to be around the corner, Charing Cross Road.
Okay.
So they've got like different sections. They've got like the graphics bit, the fashion bit, and the fine art bit.
Okay.
So I was doing the fine art, and I had my final year and decided to make this sketchy style proper, make it like out there, get it drawing quickly, get more and more pieces done, and it made it into a project of my uni. So that's how it sort of expanded from that holiday, and then pursuing it onto university afterwards.
It's mad, isn't it? Because like sometimes either a small bit of inspiration, one small idea, one small experience can actually lead into changing the course of your life. And that's why I say to people all the time, explore ideas, go to different parts of the world, get round quality people, because that one conversation can lead into something great. And clear example that you had a kind of a theme to your work, or how you done stuff, maybe wasn't quite in sync with who you are, and you come up with something rough, got a good bit of feedback, and now here you are, And like I say, like, I'm not just saying it because you're sitting here, but I literally always used to look at your work, going past. I used to look forward to walking home to Charing Cross and walking past your work, and a bunch of times I've done a video, I took a photo of it, put it up on my Insta, and I was like, this is really, really cool stuff. And I agree, it's not perfect, but that's the point. Life isn't perfect, drawings aren't perfect, and it's the paradox between, so many people want to do their work perfectly, but it's hard to find perfection, really. Our wellness company, actually, Mimboso, which Chris is a part of, who's filming us today, our catchphrase, our line is, to pursue to perfection in the 21st century. You're never going to get perfect, but you can pursue it every single day. So I've seen it in Charing Cross, I've seen it in Soho near Tottenham Court Road, and I also walked out of Bromley South once, and I saw your work down there. And what struck me straight away was, damn, this guy gets around. He's really on his hustle, he's really on his work ethic, and he really wants to make a mark in the street art scene. How important is it for you to work really hard and get your work out there?
It's very important to me, because I would say that it's like I'm haunted, It's haunted as in, like, I'll be at home chilling and I'll be like, oh man, always thinking of ideas, things to do, sort of like feel guilty chilling at home watching TV.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Yeah, you're good, innit? I'm always thinking, what's the next piece? So that's why I like to go out. I like to go out, see life, and see what walls there are. So we call it a recce. We go out and have a recce. The recce is like looking for walls to paint. Go out on a BMX, take the dog out, and if I find walls, then put that down in a notebook, and that's a wall to do. So like when I saw the wall by Trafalgar Square opposite the National Portrait Gallery, I saw that wall and I was just like, yeah, man, like I was like, I want to hit this wall. Do
you have to like get permission, or you just go ahead and do it?
I just go and do it. I mainly just go and do it illegally. I just see the wall, and I mainly do it in a day. Wear a high-vis jacket.
Wow.
And whatever happens, happens.
And no one touches you usually when you've got a high-vis jacket on?
9 times out of 10 you're cool. There's always a 1 time out of 10 you might get the occasional police that might stop, But on the whole, you're fine. No, 95% of the time you're right. But there's always that 5% of risk.
Because that piece in Charing Cross stayed up for so long.
Yeah.
It was up there for, can I say months?
Yeah, well, you know what? It was that for. So I did that piece April 2018, and I think they took it down like August 2019. So about a year and a few months, isn't it?
Yeah, it's quality. And what did they do? They put some sort of like plastic over it.
Yeah, protecting over it. So I
mean, that must resonate with you that they valued your work.
Yeah, so I got in contact. They contacted me. Sorry, they contacted me. The company was called Wilmot and Dixon, and they're big corporate building company, and they liked what I'd done, and I managed to meet the owner of that whole building, and she said, "Oh, could you do me a commission?" So the owner of that whole building, the whole project, I did a commission for her. I did a little sketch of her in my style on canvas. So yeah, she loved it. So yeah, the whole company they loved the work, and I guess that's why they protected it, because they appreciated it.
Yeah.
Normally that doesn't happen. Normally the companies will either paint over it or they'll just leave it, but they wouldn't really put plastic over it. They wouldn't go to that extreme.
That's quality.
So it was decent.
That must have made you feel good.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, man! Like they put plastic over it. That's nice. Like I felt like, yeah, man. Like they're protecting my work, because work gets vandalized a lot. You get haters. You get all the graffiti writers that want to come and bombard your stuff. Happens, but you just fight through it, innit?
I always see like most street artists like tag their own name or their Instagram handle, which I think is wise to do because it's a form of marketing. But do you ever get like people like literally contact you? Well, I guess you do because you just described it, but they will contact you by seeing something on the building site, seeing something on the wall, and just saying, "Hey Nathan, I've noticed your work a few times. Can I get something commissioned?" Yeah,
that's what happens. That's how it works, man.
Because you've grown your Instagram account to like 10,000 almost.
Yeah, almost there. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean that's for me. It's not even about that. Like, I only joined. I'm a late Instagrammer. I joined Instagram like 2015. One of my artist mates, Otto, he was on it like 2013, and he was telling me, "Yo, bruv, man, you need to get on this, man. Like, I don't even have a smartphone. I got a Nokia, and I use a tablet. So that's my gate. My tablet is my gateway to the online world. It's Facebook, Instagram. So even back in them days, I never even had a tablet until 2015. It was Christmas time, and my mum bought me a tablet. So I was like, oh, my mum bought me a tablet. Like, I was like, right, this is a sign. Like, my parents bought me a tablet. Cool, maybe I need to get on Instagram. And that was Christmas time, and it was only in May, like literally May, I finally had the balls to get on Instagram, because my mate was like, yo, he does art as well, and he said, yo, man, just do it. So yeah, like it's not even about having like the fans or the followers. Instagram, I like Instagram because I could keep a tag on my work. So I do a street art piece. I write my name at Nathan Bowen Art. People mention me in their stories. So with that way, it sort of tracks my artwork. They take photos. I can see the state of my artwork, because there's been many times where people taking a photo of my artwork, tag me in the post, and then I've seen a bit of graph on it or a bit of tag. I'm like, oh right, cool. So I use Instagram as like a tracking device.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Tracks my work.
Yeah. See, it's been vandalized almost.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's how I see it. So yeah, but when my followers go up, it's just organic from like people just seeing it. I hardly follow any other people. I hardly go on Instagram to look at things anyway. I should more, because there's plenty of art shows on. There's plenty of things going on, and it's good to go to these art shows and socialise.
Yeah.
So I need to sort of get out of that that cage of not being on Instagram and just get over it and just do it.
Yeah.
And I might get a smartphone as well.
I talk to so many of my guests about the mad paradox between, having social media, having real life, and there's so much like mental issues that are attached to like social media and the internet these days. And I feel like if you use it too much, you can get pulled into an artificial world, and you can get distracted, or it can make you kind of like follow the Joneses, or you're not focusing on the real life.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we got a business here, and we trying to generate sales because of our followers, because of the content we put up. So it is a way of marketing, advertisement, and also form of sales. Have you found that you do make sales because of it?
Yeah, definitely. It was only a year ago. I found out. It's only a year ago I found out you get like message requests on Instagram. Do you know when you go on Instagram and it's on the top right?
DMs.
Thing? Yeah. So like, also been on it previously for 3 years. Just doing posts and stuff. I never knew I was getting all of these DMs, and I only got a few DMs from people I know.
Yeah.
And so it was only a year ago. I was at my mate's house, and my mate was like, "Yeah, man," because my mate does art, and he was like, "Yeah, man, I got a few messages about my artwork." And I was like, "Oh, cool, man. Like, who's messaging you?" He's like, "Yeah, man, I got a few messages." And I'm like, "You?" I'm like, "Cool." So I said to myself, "Well, I don't really get much messages on Instagram." Yeah, strangely enough, yeah. That's what's weird. And he goes, "Mate, you must do." And he goes, "Mate, do you know about the message requests?" I was like, "No." And he's like, "Mate, if you just look to the top right of the screen, you see your message requests." And at the time I looked, it was like 41 requests.
Jesus.
I was like, God. And he goes, "Yeah, it only lasts a month. So like, you have a month, or you have all your requests in a month, and after a month it gets
So you
cleaned
could add
out.
a lot more than that.
Oh, so basically, yeah, man. I had 3 years of requests I didn't do because I didn't know how to use it. That's how much of I'm not a technophobe, but that's how much technology to me, I don't really know about it.
Yeah.
Someone should have gave me an Instagram induction. I didn't get that. I was just like, all right, cool. How do you use this thing? All right, you post stuff, you follow people, they follow you back. That's how it works. But yeah, there was a whole new ball game. So it was only a year ago I realised I was getting message requests, and then suddenly I started seeing those, and I was like, wow, I missed out on like 3 years worth of message requests. People must have thought, wow, this guy ain't replying back. So yeah, it's only a year ago I started properly using it. So yeah.
So you've had a few commissions at the back end of that?
Oh, loads, man. But what made me happy was I don't really care about all those backlogged 3 years of messages I missed out on. It proves that I don't need that.
Yeah.
It proves that I lived completely without that message requests and all those opportunities I missed out on. So yeah, it proves that I could just do it without it.
So was you making money just purely on the your website?
Yeah.
And people that in a private network?
Website and private networks, yeah, and Facebook as well.
Yeah.
And that was it, yeah.
Cool.
Then boom, realised the message requests, then getting more and more stuff because of the Instagram, innit?
So what would you say you sell more of, like the original artworks or limited editions? The reason why I'm asking this question as well is because we as a business are going through a bit of a transition, and predominantly we sold most original works of a few street artists from New York. But we want to go down more like the merchandise limited editions, the more affordable art. Because we know not everyone can afford a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 pound piece, but they can afford probably £100 piece, £200 piece, £500 piece. What would you say you're selling the most of? Yeah, more affordable stuff. Definitely, to the mass market. Yeah, because I like my work to appeal to everyone. I don't think I don't even look up to selling work for tens and hundred thousands. I want my work to be I want every household to think, all right, you know what? When I've got the time and money, I could buy a Nathan Bowen piece. Yeah, I want every household to feel like that. I want my work to be a household thing, rather than like only the rich or the elite have it. So like if I inspire to sell work in the next 3 years, that's going to be 10,000 and above. No, I don't want that. I'm happy to sell work for 30 quid, 20 quid, 10,000 pounds, 20,000 pounds. But my artwork is a whole wide range. It appeals to everybody, the rich people, the poor people, students, the kids, whatever. So I don't have that. Yeah, I don't inspire to have. I want an agent. I want to be selling work for 20 grand minimum. No, I don't aspire to that. Money was never a thing for me. It was always like doing the art. I came from originally. I did graffiti when I was 15, 16. Tagging and dubbing. Yeah, got arrested. I was the only member of my crew to get arrested, and so I was 16, and that's the time when you get arrested. They tell your parents,
So yeah, they told my mum and dad, and my dad didn't talk to me for a whole week. But it was that negative feelings that made me think, you know what, I want to be positive about my artwork. I'm thinking, you know what, forget this graffiti stuff. I want to go uni, and that's what made me decide I want to go St. Martin's Art College. And yeah, so I gave up the graffiti, gave up those late nights, sneaking out of the house 3 a.m. with the hood up. I just thought, I'm just going to do some fine art, and then see where the future takes me. But my original plan was to be a cartoonist. That was my original goal. So like while I was in uni, I was doing my artwork in uni, thinking, after uni, I want to get a job in like cartooning or animation. That was my original plan, but that never happened.
What and sell your images or your images to like films and stuff or cartoons? Is that what you wanted to do? Yeah,
so it was more like, if you think about like how you were saying earlier, like trying to make a living out of art, it's hard. So so as an artist or someone who's trying to make a living out of it, what's practical in art? Cartoons, stuff like doing artwork for schools, workshops. That's the sort of practical art. I didn't really think like to myself in the future I'll be selling my own art, like my own characters. I didn't believe that was doable, like to sell your own artwork. I always believed you had to work for like an art company, like whether it's a cartoon or an animation. Work for Nickelodeon, Walt Disney. Those like big commercial places, they'll give you like a 9 to 5 in cartooning. That's what I was sort of after. Doing art in schools or cartoons.
That's wicked. Yeah, well, I think what that demonstrates as well, and what that testament to the fact that 1, you got to have a goal. 2, you got to really work hard for it. But 3, your goal might slightly tweak or change during your journey, and I don't think that's a bad that's a problem.
Yeah.
I just think that if you're willing to accept that, if it's slightly over here, slightly over there, but you're going to become a success if you work really hard at it, having a bit of a tweak to your goal is going to happen every so often. But the people that don't get anywhere in life are people that don't set goals, and you clearly, doing graffiti, got in trouble.
Yeah.
I used to get in trouble as well back in the day, not for graffiti, but doing some random stuff when I was younger.
Yeah,
Funny enough, with the Ravenswood kids, because I used to hang about with them a lot. And I feel that learning from them experiences and then thinking, right, this is what I want to do in a positive way, it will map out your life slightly, and then you can pursue a certain career. So let me talk about, I was going to talk to you about this at the start, like from the beginning then, because I said that salespeople, if you're going to pursue sales, if you're going to pursue sport, being an athlete, or if you're going to pursue being an artist of some kind, whether that's canvas artist, street artist, sculpture, fashion, it's a fucking hard thing to get into. And I always question, but I also admire, but question, why the hell would you want to be a salesperson? Why the hell would you want to be an athlete? Why the hell would you want to be an artist? What possesses you to become that person? Because it's such a fucking hard career. But if you make it, you can make it big. So why did you pursue being an artist?
I guess it's because like having so many different jobs. Like I used to work in Waitrose.
This is when you come out of Ravenswood, you said.
I think I was still in Waitrose. I was in Waitrose 2003. So I think I was in my final. I was in my first year of sixth form. Okay. But that was my final year because I left sixth form a year early. I didn't do the 2-year AS.
The A levels.
I just did 1 year of AS, and I got in St. Martin's a year early. So I got in St. Martin's when I was 17, and I got fired from Waitrose like years later. But doing jobs in like Waitrose and that, I just thought, nah, man, like this is rubbish. Like and doing other jobs like customer services. All those jobs, I had a boss. All the jobs I had a boss. I had someone to report to. I had someone telling me what to do. So what made me desire the hunger or the thirst for doing like art or any sort of creativity, which involves me being my own boss. I'm doing that. It was like the main idea was not to be my own boss, but just to do artwork, just to be creative. I didn't want to stack shelves for the rest of my life. I didn't want to do customer services. I'm haunted, so art is always in me. every time I do these jobs, I'll be thinking about art. I'll come home, be straight on the art. So yeah, it was just what made me want to do like this hard art career. It was just that drive in me. Got so much drive in me, and so much of that haunting energy that I just need to release it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not a curse, but it's man, like it never leaves me.
It's like you're possessed.
Yeah, all the time. I love it, but constantly thinking about street art spots. So now once a week I go and check my walls because they get vandalized every once in a while. So now what I do now is once a week I check my walls. So I just go to like Aldgate or wherever my wall is, Central, and just check it. And then that's how I remain top of it, because my artwork is, I enjoy doing it, but when someone comes and vandals it, I just think, mate, that's just taking a mick. So I see it as a war. I've got a war between these graph guys. These graph guys, see me making a name for myself.
And they want to discourage you by going over it.
Yeah, they want to discourage me, and also they want my spots. I get the hot spots, but I find them, I don't get given them, I find them myself. So these graph guys should really like think, yo, this Nathan Bowen guy, maybe we should talk to him and ask him where we could find some walls. Why hate me for that? Instead of working against each other, work together. So yeah, I find myself, I've got this war now with these graph guys, and that's fine. We take on the war, but the way I win the war is by remaining on top. So checking my walls maybe once a week, every 10 days. Because if you get into the habit of checking your walls like once every 2-3 months, and you come back to your wall and it's been vandalised, you don't know how long it's been like that for.
So what would you do if it's been vandalised? Would you update it? Would you repair it? How'd you go about doing it?
So I've always been vandalised. Yeah, just touch it up. Just whatever bit's been messed up, clean it up, paint over it, and just do it again. But I find touch-ups now, I call them touch-ups. Touch-ups now are minor. I do them so quickly. Been doing it for years. But when I first was doing touch-ups, it was like, oh man, this is annoying. Like, I've got to do them. I've got to do all those lines again, paint that bit again. But now touch-ups, it happens so often that, boom, man. Oh yeah, mate, your wall's down Soho's been vandal, man. Cool, bruv. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah.
On to that. And yeah, clean it up.
So are you getting like, because obviously I recognise your art, like clear as day. I'll look at one and go, that's Nathan Bowen, like straight away, which must be a nice feeling to have, because it's like that retina over there. You know that's a retina. When I go past anything in predominantly America and I see that, retina, straight away, you just know. Hambleton. So it's almost like that is your brand by your style almost. But you as a person, I kind of had a vague idea what you look like, but not completely. Yeah. Because I've only seen a couple of little images from you very, very quickly on your stories and stuff. So now people getting to know you as a person. Yeah. Is that quite a nice feeling as well? Where they come over to you and go, hey Nathan, like this is what's happened to your wall, or can I get a commission, or can I get something signed? Yeah, it's interesting because people don't really think, like people see my work and see my name Nathan Bowen. They don't think like you don't feel like they see me and they think, well, I didn't expect you to look like that. So I met this woman the other day. It was at a gallery show, and she's chatting away, and she goes, oh, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I just do art. And I gave her a card, and she's like, oh wow, you're Nathan Bowen. I was like, yeah. And she's like, wow, you know what? I thought you was a 55-year-old white man. I was like, oh, how come? She's like, I don't know, I just didn't expect you to look like the way you are. Yeah. I was like, I said to her, that's interesting. I don't know what it is, but mostly the name Nathan Bowen is because it's such a Welsh name. My full name is Nathan Lloyd Bowen, and that's proper Welsh. But my family's like from Barbados and Jamaica. But I think there was like years and years ago, I think like some Welsh took over Barbados. Right. But yeah, people don't expect me to look like what I look like, and I love that because it's just, I don't know what people think street artists look like, but I break that, so it's good. It's good. Great. I play it to my advantage. I've got to be honest. Like I fall into that same category. When I first looked at your work and then saw you as a person, I did not think the two people would go hand in hand. Yeah. But it's nice because everything is a surprise, in life. So just talking about your journey, because being an art myself, not an artist, but promoting different artists, and also being, we're not a gallery, but we're a private studio, but can't feel like a gallery. The most important thing for me and I can only speak for myself, not my business partner or anyone else, but for me, the most important thing, it comes down to what's the artist's story, the journey, what's their market doing, and what does their pieces look like. If I like their pieces, if I like what their market's doing, and if I like their story most importantly, I feel like they're the three pillars in order for me to sell as a salesperson and as someone really wants to become passionate to present your story very well to a collector or to an investor. This guy behind us, guy called Richard Hamilton, looks like black smudge on a canvas, but when you understand his story and understand what he's gone through, you understand it's more than just, you know, a shadow figure on a canvas. So, like with your story, Nathan, you mentioned about getting in trouble with the police and stuff. I kind of like the controversial stuff because it factors in towards your work. So, was there any other like hairy moments in your career, things that, you know, trials and tribulations, or things where you thought, you know what, I don't know if I'm cut out for the art world or anything like that?
Yeah, loads of stuff. Got arrested a few times. I got arrested in Croatia a year ago. Went to Outlook Festival, and it was me and my mate. We found like this mall, an abandoned mall, loads of tags on it, and just painting it. And the police officer came, and he didn't handcuff me, but he goes, "Oh, have you got your ID? You know, you got your driving license." So I gave my driving license. And you see that, and then he goes, "Oh yeah, man, you know, we've got to take you to the station." So yeah, I didn't get handcuffed. We just walked to the station. I couldn't run off because I had my ladder and my bags. And this police guy was like some old fat guy, so I could easily run at him. But like, I was just like, you know what, hey, let's do this properly. So I went to the station, and it was weird because I didn't get handcuffed, didn't get put in a cell either. Just literally sat in there. I think they're office rooms. So sat in there, they was asking me questions like, you know, what have you come to Croatia for? And I was like, yeah, I just come here for a festival. While I was here, I just thought I'd do some artwork. Didn't want to paint in the street, so you're painting on this abandoned mall. And so about 3.5 hours later, I was out of the station, and it was fine. And then it must have been like, so that was a year ago, and it must have been like about a few months ago, like in July, I got a letter from the British Home Office saying, "Oh yeah, that when you got arrested in Croatia, they said, oh yeah, you've they let you off. They wanted to put me in jail for 2 months, but they gave me a suspended sentence."
Wow.
Yeah, so basically
close shave.
Yeah, close shave. So they were like, "Yeah, man, don't commit any crime for 1 year. If you commit one crime
outside of Europe or outside of UK,
basically don't go Croatia for 1 year." That's what they were saying. Don't Croatia 1 year. So if I went to back Croatia and I committed a crime within the year, they would have put me in jail for 2 months. So it was a year. Yeah, it was a year suspended sentence. Basically.
Cool. So they had like a trial without you, basically.
Yeah, man. I just got this letter. Like literally like sent to my yard because I totally forgot about it. I thought, yeah, man, that was like September 2018 done. Then suddenly July 2019 got this letter with all this, like 5-page letter, all this information saying, "Oh yeah, man, this is what happened, this and that." I was like, whoa, did not expect that.
It's a bit more serious than you thought.
Yeah, man, I just thought, slap on the wrist, 3.5 hours, they interviewed me for whatever and left the country, done. But no, it was a bit more than that. So that taught me a lesson. Like, I've been painting abroad for years, different countries. But yeah, man, like, don't get caught abroad. Like, never really been caught abroad, always got away with it. But yeah, so that time was like, you know, receiving that letter was a bit shocking for me. But I just, you know, stay positive, innit?
Yeah.
Stay strong.
Yeah. The thing is as well is entrepreneurs or like even, I'm into boxing, or artists, you can't really buy into an entrepreneur, an artist, or a let's say an athlete, unless they've got kind of a bit of a chaotic, slightly backstory, because it makes them interesting, and therefore you see their work interesting. Tomorrow I'm interviewing a guy called Alfie Best, who was is a traveller, but he's amassed huge fortune, 400 million he's worth. Helicopters, got Bugattis, but really, really nice, down to earth guy. And just like that traveller spirit, they're very loyal people, they're very religious people, they've got a lot of ethics, a lot of morals, but they fucking work hard. But he too is skirted in between certain things, probably back in his time to build up his massive company called Wildcrest Homes. And just like artists, I like to hear about their little stories because it just makes things fucking interesting. So when you hang up a piece of art on the wall, I can turn around and go, yeah, this artist, I can tell you a story about him. And then I can tell my colleague, and they go, oh, that was cool. I want to buy that piece of art
Makes
as well.
Makes it more sellable, doesn't it?
Exactly, you know,
That's
and
right.
I think them narratives are so important. So where else have you painted outside of the UK?
Painted Philippines.
Philippines?
Yeah, Cambodia.
Why there?
So back in the days when I was on Job Seekers, I've got so much different stories, man. I've got loads. So 2012, the beginning of that, obviously still doing street art. So I've been doing street art for 10 years. So 2012, January time, broke as hell on Job Seekers. And I'm waiting for the big moment. The big moment is The Apprentice. I was on The Apprentice, episode 8, series 8, and that was aired on May 2012.
How did you get that?
There's a guy called Kevin. Kevin used to run a project called Urban Gentry, and they used to be like street art tours. But they were like the early street art tours. Do you know you get street art tours in Shoreditch now?
Yeah.
He was like one of the first dudes to set it up back in like 2010, 11. And then he's got links with media. So he was like, yo, dude, man, there's going to be an art documentary. Call this number. So I was like, all right, cool. So I called this number and I was like, hey, I've got your number from Kevin. He said there's some sort of art documentary going on. And the woman was called Kate and she was like, yeah, all right, send me your email. I'm going to send you a disclosure. I was like, all right, cool, man. So I gave her my email, she sent me the disclosure, I read it. She's like, yeah, don't tell no one about this, but this is going to be The Apprentice.
Beautiful.
But I wasn't, at the time, she was like, all right, this is just a disclosure. We don't know if you're going to be on it yet. We're going to have to interview you, we're going to have to meet you, see your vibe. This is just early days, but we're thinking about using you. So I was on like a whole like list of different artists. You know, it was me, I was like one of the artists, one in like 30. So she had to pick what artist they're going to use. So she came around my house and I showed her my artwork. She filmed me, had a little interview as well. And then she goes, all right, cool, man, I'll get back to you. So I said, oh, what are you doing for the rest of the day? Are you interviewing other artists? She goes, yeah, I'm just literally doing the whole rounds. So I was like, all right, cool, man. At least I know that I could make it, I might not. And man, so she got back to me in a few days later and she goes, all right, cool. Obviously you're still not on the show yet, but you're looking likely. So she interviewed more artists and finally she's like, all right, you're gonna be on the show. And
you as a person, your work?
Just me as a person and my work. So do you know when you got Apprentice, you got like the contestants, the guys who wear the suits. So I was just Nathan Bowen myself. And the idea was they had to sell my artwork and a couple of other artists. They had to go to my house and literally like look at my artwork and decide whether they want to sell it in the gallery. That was the whole idea of the show. So the idea of the show was, it was called the Urban Art Challenge. So they'll come to each artist's house. So there was 2 teams and 2 artists on each team. So my team was called Team Sterling and I was with another artist called Pure Evil.
I know Pure Evil, yeah. So the show just not too long ago with a company that we do a little bit of business with called Dastasi Art. So shout out to you lot. First time I've given you a little shout out to Mike Howes and them, man. But yeah, I know that artist pretty well.
Yeah, so it was me and him on the show. So we was on the same team. And so the idea was, they came around to my house and they had to look at my artwork and decide, are we going to use Nathan Bowen for the next day to do the show? So the next day it was a gallery show. So they went to my house, they interviewed me, they were filming this as well. All the camera crew come down. It was great. I was just like, a whole new experience. I was like, wow.
Did you see Alan Sugar?
Not Alan Sugar, but I met Nick and Karen.
Yeah.
They come to my house as well.
What was that like?
That was nuts. Like, I had Nick and Karen. So Nick come round, he's like, oh, I've seen these before. Yes, I've seen these. I was like, man, cool, bro. And then Karen was like, she come round and she was just like proper, I don't know, man, she's just proper up her own arse, mate. Like, like I think her zip was slightly undone on her dress. and she was zipping it up, and my dad was just chilling in the living room, my dad in his own house, and she's like, "Oh, could you possibly leave the room, please?" Say that to my dad in his own house while she's getting a zip done up. So I thought that was jokes, but anyway, yeah, man. So like they filmed there, they came to my house and filmed it, and
in Catford.
Yeah. And so they left my house and they goes, all right, we might give you a call in the next couple of hours to see if we're going to use you for the next for the show. So this was like, no, this is literally the moment of make and break. Like, I had to wait like 3 hours for this phone call, and so yeah, this is at the time I was living with my parents. So we went out to Bromley, man, just did a bit of shopping, and then I come home. Then my phone rang, and it was the contestants, and they're like, "Hi, is this Nathan Bowen?" And I was like, yeah, cool, man. Oh, yes, it's Team Sterling. We want to say, yeah, we'd like to use your work for the art show. So we're going to send a courier. Make sure all your artwork is bubble wrapped and packed, and the courier is going to come round about midnight, and they're going to take your artwork to the gallery. So you need to be in the gallery the next day for some more filming. So yeah, man, it was like, the courier come round. I said to the courier, I said, "Oh,
and what year is this?"
Oh, this is 2000. So this was they filmed it. Yeah, they filmed it. They filmed it 2011, October, and they aired it 2012. So yeah, they filmed it 2011, they aired it 2012.
And is it this style still?
Yeah, always this style, man. And so the courier came round, and I was like, "Oh, so who's going to be the next artist with me on the show?" He's like, "Oh man, I can't tell you." I was like, "Oh really?" And so the next day went to the show and found out it's Pure Evil. And so basically, man, they aired that 2012, and then that changed my life. That made me like sell artwork for a living. Because before that, like I said, I was on job seekers, still doing art, but not knowing like whether to take my artwork to the next level as to make a career out of it. So I was thinking, man, this is before I was making art sales. This is when I was just doing street art and just doing art. Yeah. So yeah, being on The Apprentice just changed my life. It just gave me the ability to sell work full time.
It's in moments actually, because we as a brand as well, again, we're not a cool artist like you, but we're trying to make our name in the art scene. And we might have cool artwork from Richard Hambleton and Retner and Futura and Days and people like that. But at the end of the day, if you're the person selling it, you need to be credible yourself, as well as having credible art. And what we try and do is obviously give value by putting content out there, doing shows, but most importantly, trying to get into publications. And we got into Vogue, Forbes, Huffington Post, Wall Street International, Mail and Line, Evening Standard, list goes on. And when we hit those publications, it gives us validation to when clients look at us and say, "Is this company credible?" Look them up. Oh, Forbes wrote about them.
Yeah.
Huffington Post wrote about them. Hypebeast wrote about them, and it's that important. And it must be the same with you. You're getting on an Apprentice. That's fucking cool. Like really cool. One of the most watched programs in the whole of UK.
Yeah.
So to get on there, you can always leverage that and always lean on that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And that must be a good thing.
Yeah, it was good, man. It just changed my life. Because I was smart. Before I was in The Apprentice, I always had the Nathan Bowen Art Shop. That was the website I had, nathanbowenartshop.com. And I made that December 2011. So yeah, I always had the pre-idea of trying to sell work online. So when the Apprentice got aired in 2012 May, when I was watching it, I had my laptop there. I was like, all right, I was looking at my admin page on my website, and man, people were just buying pieces like that, boom, boom, boom. Because it was a time when it was the Queen's Golden Jubilee. 2012 Queen's Golden Jubilee, and that's when I did the Beefeaters, the Coldstream guards with the Union Jack, with the bearskin hats. That's the year I invented that character, and that's the character that was shown in The Apprentice. And and luckily it was all timing. It was the Queen's Golden Jubilee birthday as well, so people were just loving the Union Jack.
The stars aligned.
Yeah, man. So yeah, and it worked well. He just fitted in perfectly. So since then, just been selling art since 2012.
So you
that
literally
changed it.
saw your like Shopify, your shop front, your PayPal just go ding 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 like
Yeah,
as
man.
yeah,
Yeah.
because of that.
Yeah. People just asking for commissions.
And was it the Union Jack style ones which were flying?
Yeah, people love the Union Jack styles. Obviously, the builders were selling, but it's mainly the Union Jack character. How you got like the bearskin hat character, always serious and he doesn't move. So with my characters, I've sort of given them personality. You've got the bearskin hat with the Union Jack on. They've got their famous pose and that. But yeah, these guys, you need to remember these guys because their job's hard. They're in that suit all day, every day. Imagine, remember the time it was 37 degrees a few months ago in summer? Them guys are probably still out there. They weren't wearing t-shirts. They weren't still the bearskin hat. Whoa, man, props to them. You know what I mean? I don't know how they dealt with that.
Yeah.
Like guys are mentally up there, you know. So yeah, man. So yeah, I do those characters and I do the social characters just to remind people of don't forget about these guys, man. You got your day-to-day life, things you see, but don't forget about the soldiers who are out there. Don't forget about these guys, man. These guys are a major part of London, major part of the world, isn't it? So yeah, and the builders, man. Can't forget about the builders.
It's so funny
how
you
made this. I used to be a builder. I used to do roofing. We made that, but everyone forgets about the builder. Everyone looks at the rapper and forgets about the producer. But the producer makes more money than the rapper, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's those little things I think about.
It's so funny because you've gone from a soldier outside Buckingham Palace, for example, in the traditional bear hat and everything else, who is soulless a bit, and they're just marching up and down. And you got a builder. So I'm glad you actually came onto this because I was finding the perfect route to get to this subject.
Yeah.
Your characters. How did you come up with them? Why did you come up with them? Like a builder. Like why a builder? I get why because you just said it, but why a builder and why a Buckingham Palace soldier?
Yeah. So originally the characters they're known as demons. So originally back in the day it was of 2007 when I was doing that sketch in Faliraki. It was all about I was trying to do like a comic book. The comic book series was about a demonic character who used to live on Earth, then he died and he got sent to hell, and he became half man, half demon, and he was called Afterlives. Your afterlife, whether you live in heaven or hell. So that all tied in with my university project. So the demons originally used to be green. They used to be like they used to be a lot more figurative, a lot more like demonic, hellish characters, darker, gorier. And I decided to drop all that darkness because it's going to get me nowhere on the street. And I decided to sort of mix this character with the builder. So I was on a building site. I must have been 2009. I split up with my ex-missus at the time, and my mind just expanded. And I was sitting down at the building site, and from going out a lot in central London, my mate driving his van. We used to set up sound systems and stuff. So I used to go in his van. I used to see loads of building sites. And I was like, man, like these building sites are doing nothing. They've got crappy graph on them or old fly posters on them. I'm going to just go back and rip them off and do some artwork on it. Didn't really think about the idea of promotion. It was just wanting somewhere to paint. I didn't want to paint at home because my mum's kicking off. So I'm like, I want to just get out of the house and paint in the street, but I don't want to get nicked. So yeah, it was just going about London, seeing these walls. And I remember being on a building site. I was on a building site and I was like, how can I mix artwork with the building work? What's the connection? So I had my demon character, and I thought, all right, make this instead of leaving it green, I'll make it white, neutral, and give it a hard hat and a high vis, and that's how I came up with the builders. And it went from the builders to the soldiers to the bearskin hat to the astronaut to the grandma character to the tribal demon to all sorts of demons, firemen. So now all these demons represent. They're like subhumans. Yeah. They represent humans, but another version of humans. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And what I liked what you said about, especially the bear hat soldier, is they have no life. It appears they obviously do the human, but you bring them back to life with the rawness of the scribble art. Yeah. And also just the way they are. What I really like, I'm very positive. Every third post on my Instagram is a quote which I just take from someone else's and tag them in it and give them credit. And I believe whatever you put out to the world, you're going to get back.
Yeah.
So I look to put out very positive thoughts, positive quotes, positive, you know, content, and therefore I'm hoping, which most of the time I do, I get it back.
Yeah.
So on the front of some of yours it says, "Are you inspired?" or "Be inspired,"
Yeah.
which I loved because it drew me towards your pieces. What made you want to do that, like that centerpiece?
Yeah, it was. So it was like I used to be a youth worker working with young people, and one of my youth leaders, I was doing some artwork, and I did a character, and the character just had an arrow. That character was holding a banner and had an arrow, and my youth worker said, "Oh, why don't you, instead of you having an arrow on the banner, why don't you write something, you know, like, are you inspired?" And I was like, yeah, okay. And I thought about it, and I thought, yeah, that's a good idea, because, you know, are you inspired? People could read that and they could ask themselves that, are they inspired? And so, yeah, it was my youth worker that influenced me to do that. So I pursued that idea from her.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks to her, decided to do that.
It's good. And galleries, or let's say, because again, thinking about your artwork on the street,
Yeah.
and thinking about different street artists, it's a bit of a gateway where it's marketing on the walls. You've got your social media channels, you've got your online website, and you've got all these kind of mediums in order to promote your work, or a gateway to sell work. But what about the conventional way, like galleries or art agencies? Have you ever explored that?
So when I first was starting to do artwork, people were saying to me, "Yeah, man, you should try like an online portfolio." So I used to go on Google and look for art agencies, send them some emails like, "Yo, I'm an artist. This is my work. Is there any way you could help me out? What's the next? Any way you could like, give me some sort of direction?" And they didn't care. They were always like, "Yeah, man, you sort of like, you know, we sort of look for the artists we want. It doesn't really work like that. You don't really send works to us. We look for you." So I was sort of like discouraged by that. So I was like, "Oh, you know what? Like, forget these galleries, man. Like, I'm just gonna just do artwork in the street, because I use the streets as a gallery. People see it. It's free. People don't feel intimidated to go in there."
It's a smart move, man.
Yeah.
Because this is, I mean, look, I'm not saying it's going to lead, like, we're going to like hit their big heights, but you never know. We could, like, because of this conversation now, I'm going to pull it out to the world. I'm not saying I've got loads and loads of followers, but there is a following, and as soon as people watch it on the Woodbury House portfolio, or sorry, on their channels, put it on my channel, maybe across the Mimboso one, someone might pick it up and go, "You know what, this fucking guy's cool. I'm going to buy a bit of artwork." And then that can manifest into something else. So I think you're right. Just getting your work out there by any stretch, I think is important.
Yeah.
So you got a bit put off with the typical galleries?
Yeah, man, they didn't really care. They just did not care. So I was just, that gave me like, when I get treated like that, that gives me drive to think, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do my thing.
Yeah.
It was like when I was in sixth form. When I was in my first year of the AS level, I had like 2 art teachers and a graphics teacher, and I went to one of my art teachers. "What do you think about me getting to St. Martin's a year early? Because, you know, you've got to do the whole 2 years of AS level. What do you think about getting St. Martin's a year early?" I said to him. One of them was like, "Yeah, you could do it. Yeah, you just got to keep your ideas original, keep your artwork really like different. They don't want to see the same old classical art. They want to see art with imagination,
Feeling,
creativity." Yeah. So I was like, "Cool, man. I get that." And so my other art teacher was like, "What do you think of me getting St. Martin's a year early?" She's like, "No chance. No way. You will not do it. You ain't doing it." I was like, "All right, cool." Like, I was like, "All right, sweet." And I absorbed that. I took it in, and it gave me more drive to think, you know what? I'm going to do this. So I spent the mornings just doing artwork. At the time, I was living at home, shared a room with my brother. So my brother, I'll wake up in the morning, my brother will wake up late. So while I was asleep, I'll just like literally sit down and just draw him while he was sleeping. It sounds weird, but it was cool because like, I always showed him the picture after. I was like, "Buff, while you sleeping, man, there's a picture of there's a picture drawing of you I did." And I always
same style?
No, it was more like that kind of style. Like, yeah, it's just more, it's more like fine art, traditional art style, using like oil pastels, and using different colours, like oranges and yellows. Instead of using black, And yeah, so I built a whole portfolio of these still life drawings.
Okay.
And boom, man, talking to St. Martin's, got the interview. You know, got the interview and got in. And bang, it was like, yo, man, I got in, and teachers couldn't believe it. And man, I was out of that school. Starting my new career.
Do you ever say anything to the tutor or to the teacher said to you, you're never going to get there?
Well, now.
Did you ever turn around to her, and go,
yeah, man. I was just like, yeah, I showed her the letter. I was like, yeah, man, I got in. And she's like, oh, yeah. So obviously, the teacher that supported me, she's like, oh, lovely, that is absolutely lovely. Oh, you're well done. I knew you, damn it, I knew it. And then the other teacher, she's just like, she just couldn't believe it. She's like, oh, you did it. Like,
yeah, reserved.
She didn't like me, man, because at the time, man, you know, I was like, you know, thinking about like 16, 17-year-old, sixth form, weren't really listening to the teachers. You know, we had like, you know, period breaks, smoking weed in the woods and stuff. So he was coming to class lean. So yeah, this teacher didn't like my attitude, which I don't blame her. But I always did the work, but she just didn't like my attitude. She's like, oh yeah, he comes in late. You know, he's a joker of the class. Yeah, but I didn't care. I was just doing art. I thought, this is art, man. This is an art class. This is how supposed to wind down.
Yeah, it stimulates your mind, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know, I had RE, I had maths. Now I'm doing art. That's just time for me to enjoy myself. I didn't want to make art corporate. So yeah, that was my way of like, yeah, just doing art in school. But obviously that teacher, Mrs. Harris, she weren't supporting, man. You know, she weren't supporting me. But it was Miss McNair, the positive one, and she was like, yeah, man, you could do it. I know you could do it. And she was great. She was like a mother.
Good.
Because we did art trips, and whenever I was in art trips, and she did get upset whenever I smoked weed in art trips, because she's like, oh, I knew this student, he smoked weed and it ruined his life. She cared about me, and she's like, I don't want you to ruin your life, you know, I don't want you to smoke weed and ruin your life. And so she just genuinely cared about me, you know, and I really did appreciate that. You know, a teacher that actually cared about my well-being. For her, it wasn't just a career for her or making money. She actually cared about our students. And yeah, like, you know, when I said to her, yo, what do you think about me going to St. Martin's? She was totally on that, and I rate that. So yeah, whether she's alive to this day, man, like, you know, yo, Miss McNair, if you're out there, man, you was a great help for me in them school days. So yeah.
It just shows them small bits of information from people that are, you know, a bit more older and a bit more influential. They can last for a lifetime. Yeah, Miss McNair. It's so important to treat everyone with kind of respect and support. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you don't see these. You don't see these when you're a kid, innit? You don't see them. You don't really think about the future, innit? You think about the here and now, or like the small future. You don't think about the big future. So I think it's important, like, you know, us as adults now, we've got to tell the youth that, yo, kids, man, don't think about the immediate future. Think about like the further future. So that's why, like, for me now, I always try and influence people to do art or be creative. You know, especially like be themselves, man. Yeah. Don't get sucked in all this internet stuff, validation, like you're saying. You know, trying to go on Instagram just to validate likes and all that. Just do things for the real reason. Do things because you enjoy them. Don't do things because it's cool. Don't do it because it's cool. Do it because you want to bloody do it. Yeah. I think there needs to be more people on this planet like you, because even when you got pushed back or someone said negative things towards you, or you had the hairy moments where things could have gone a bit wrong, you said you've absorbed it, you owned it, and then used it as fuel. How important do you think that is? Not just being an artist, but because you are an entrepreneur, someone that is a go-getter. How important is it that challenges, defeats, setbacks, problems, they will arise, like everybody has them. How important is it for you to absorb them, as you said, and then move on forward?
Yeah, very important, man. Because you know, as people get bigger in their career, they get a lot more. Like, they get successes, but they get a lot of haters as well. That's what I've learned over the years now. Like, when I first started out, didn't really get much haters, but now, like, doing all sorts of art jobs. Like, I did an art job for Charing Cross Police Station. That was on the Sun newspaper. Got enough haters for that from the graph community, because they're like, oh, yo, bro, what are you paying for police for? It's like, dude, grow up, man. grow up, bruv. Because like, if your mum got burgled, she'd be ringing the police. And your house would be round her house, talking to police, trying to investigate what happened. So don't try, and all these rappers trying to make out, trying to be cool,
Trying to be
anti, what it is, people trying to be anti-establishment, you know? And it's like, so these guys are trying to come for me, as in like, yo, bruv, you work for police, you're a snitch, you're this and all that. And I'm like, yo, what? So yeah, I take that negativity and I just make more artwork. And if they want to come and vandal my work, come and vandal my work, because I'll just come back and nean it up again and again. Because my mode is rinse and repeat. You want to come and vandalize my stuff? That's cool, bro. Because I'll just come back and go over it again and again. I never will stop, because that is my job. Yeah, people make a certain height in life. You got to know how to maintain it.
Yeah.
That's what it's about. You get to that stage where you're high. How do you maintain it? And that's what it's about. Maintenance, man.
That's good, man. I've only got 5 more minutes left.
Cool, man.
So 2 more questions, really. What advice would you give anyone getting into art for the first time? Young little pup, looking up to you, listening to this podcast interview, watched it on YouTube and thought, you know what? Nathan Bowen's inspired me. Not only because of the work as it says it, but it literally got inspired. What other bits of advice would you give them? Or even an entrepreneur, not looking to get into art, but pursuing their own career?
Yeah, I mean, entrepreneur trying to pursue their own career. Yeah, I'll say, like, you know, keep at it. And again, it all boils down to, like, you know, thinking about your ideas out of the box. Use Instagram, but try and think beyond Instagram. Everybody's like, yo, man, I'm going to make an Instagram account and hopefully I'll make it. Though, try and think beyond Instagram, beyond internet. Try and be like organic. That's how I did with my artwork. Just doing stuff in the street and recognizing that streets is the gallery. So anyone that wants to try and pursue their career in art, I say, yo, man, think out of the box. Take it to the streets. Yes, that's my advice for anyone that's trying to do sort of like any sort of art affiliated career stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah, and also, you know, if you want to make it on a hustle, like, you know, I do face painting at Carnival just for a laugh, and that's just the hustle.
Figures?
No, I mean,
you should do it.
I mean, I do the figures sometimes, but it's mainly with Carnival. It's mainly like glitter, sort of like, you know, sort of like neurotypical like images, like hearts and stars. But I do that for the fun of it, because when I go Carnival, I don't want to just wander around for 4 hours doing nothing. I can make a bit of pocket money. So yeah, I bring my crew. So yeah, man, any sort of hustle people I want to do, just think outside the box. Don't do things by the book.
Good man.
That's it. Don't do it by the book. Do it your way, and that's how you get far. I do it my way. You do it your way. That's it.
Good man. The last thing I want to say is my catchphrase on my podcast. My quote is "Be happy, never content."
Yeah.
Try and live by that. I used to run sales teams, I still do. I've got a sales company just down the road. And when you've got 25, 30, 40 people on the sales floor, predominantly men, it's all about morale and it's all about getting the best version out of them, and it's about hitting targets and making a success of yourself. Be happy, never content is almost like be happy for your opportunity, be happy to what you've achieved, so gratitude, but never content, go on and achieve more. If I were to say to you, be happy, never content, Nathan, what is Bowen's version of be happy, never content?
So my version is, just do what you do, man. Like, do what you do, well, whether it's like for the money or not, do it because it's inside of you and stick with that. So like, whether it's, you know, it's not all about making the money, but it's all about just getting your creativity. You do boxing, so that's your buzz, man. You know, you do that, and that's your mind stimulated. That is you set for the day. Like, I like exercising. I like doing burpees. When I do my burpees, I'm like, yo, man, like, cool. I don't care about the way I look, like I'm ripped and shit. No, I care about my mental state. And my mental state from doing those burpees is pure stimulation, man. So yeah, man, it's all about just doing the things you do because it's in you and you enjoy it. And you know, let the money chase you. Don't chase the money. Let the money get you.
Good man.
That's what I say.
Nathan, thank you very much. And what I love about this podcast, especially new interviewees, I didn't know who was going to walk through that door. I knew it was Nathan Bowen, of course, I knew it was you, but I didn't know what kind of conversation we're going to have today. And trust me, like it's been fucking good, and I've
Cool, man.
really admire your work, and I know you're going to be in a completely different space in 5 or 10 years from now, because I know the art market's going to recognise you as being that person and jump on your work and your vision. So thank you very much, bro.
Cheers, man. Thank you.
God bless, and be happy, never content. Hope everyone got some value from that. This is out next Wednesday or the Wednesday after.
Yeah,
right, nice one.
Yeah, cheers, man.